Okay. Now I go to from beginning. Haha, I got it this time. There it goes. Welcome to Healers Enlightened Network. Today we are so honored to have webinar 113 and have Madison King to come and speak with us about hands-on care with our sweet little animals. It is energy medicine for your dogs. So before we start like we should, every good thing, let's bow our head, let's bring in some peace, some love, some harmony, and let's just ask that love to just come right in. Okay, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. We have, let me see where we got that. Okay. Okay, hon. Madison, I'm so sorry. I got sidetracked there with the sound and I couldn't figure out mine was doing that or what. Anyway, Madison, how long have you been doing energy medicine for dogs and cats and other animals?
Well, in all honesty, I think I've done it from when I was like 5 years old, but without realizing it. And I think we all do it without realizing it, you know, because that amazing bond of love we have with our animals.
Right.
You know, when you're a little 10-year-old and your puppy is sick or a horse is lame, or say, oh, please, God, please make it better. Please make it better. You know, and,
right.
You know, we do our own form, really.
Right.
But specifically with animals, I've worked, as some of you may know, with an amazing woman called Donna Eden, who developed the Eden method or Eden energy medicine, same thing. And I've worked with her nearly 4 decades now. And I was and I still am so enthusiastic about all the work for the bodies, the human bodies, and I teach it and I run her courses. But very early on, so about 30 odd years ago, I thought, I've always had animals, dogs, cats and horses, and I just thought, I wonder if I could do this specific technique on my horse, you know? And I thought, well, I'll try. And that, I think, is something which we all have in common, is a curiosity, you know, forever saying that question of, I wonder what would happen if I did this, you know? And so I started everything I did for myself and for my clients and for my students. I would translates beautifully to animals. And what I found was with animals, it takes much less time. 2 rules, really. Keep it very simple and don't spend too long on it. And go by their response. They will tell you when they've taken what they need. You know, so yeah, so quite a long time, Cynthia.
I think it's just beautiful that you've been drawn since you were that young to help animals. I think that's
well done, Suzanne. Thank you. Sorry.
Oh, yes, yes, yes. I love it. It is
There's
a
one
great
for cats
book
as well, if anyone's got cats.
Everybody's got them.
Yeah,
for charity. Oh my God, you've all got them. That's
oh my goodness, yes.
brilliant.
I just got mine yesterday and I'm really having a hard time putting it down. And I actually started just doing the 3 little points on my dog's head because he doesn't feel good. And he actually, for the first time, just completely relaxed his body and fell asleep in my lap. And he hasn't done that since his surgery. So that's like, oh, hey, praise God.
Yeah.
So I just can't wait to keep doing more and doing another piece. And if it works so beautifully for him, why can't we go out to push, say, ASPCA or different areas that they have for animals and be able to help them and help them to be more calm, to be able to be homed in a better home. I don't know if that is possible for us to do in every area, but that would be something that we could do, and we could teach so many with this. For you to be doing this for 40 years is just simply amazing. Can you tell us some of your beautiful techniques?
I can. I'm going to tell you basics first of all. And, you know, going out to organizations is always a good idea. You know, I always offer things free, because I don't ever consider any of this my work. I just
Right.
stumbled across it, you know, it's for all of us. And I'm going to say now, in case I forget, if you are interested, if you go on my website, go on blogs, go under more, okay, because you have a few categories and you have more, go on more. And the first one under more is empowered pet care.
Empowered pet care.
Empowered pet care. And you'll find lots, they look like just plain PDF handouts. But if you look on them, they'll have videos of me talking, so you get to see me more. They have video links to some YouTube clips I did with animals and stuff like that. So there's lots, and it's all free. So there's lots of free resource on there. And what I hope it will do is to encourage you to take whatever you use for yourself and think, I can use it for my, if we're talking dogs, with dogs. Okay, I tend to work with dogs, cats, and horses. I'm not a vet and I'm not an animal behavioralist, but you know, it's just working with that energy in such a simple way to promote and really get going their self-healing, and they feel it. They feel it
too. Instantly,
and
I think they do.
really
I think they, do you not feel that they are more receptive than we are as humans?
Nothing here to get in the way. I mean, when you're dealing with rescues, yes, you have to deal with that sort of, you know, abuse that they may have had. But you know, with a normal dog, and even with rescues, once they know you, they'll come. But equally, they'll walk away after 30 seconds. You know, I can do a lot more on you. And they go, no, that's enough. Know when to have the wisdom to let go, Maddie, you know. But coming back, I think the first thing, before we talk really about the dogs, is I've always believed that if something is wrong with your animal, your dog, he or she is probably giving you a message and reflecting you. So there's two things. First of all, is look to yourself, you know, is he reflecting you? And also look to some of the the sort of typical emotions we have behind certain things. I don't know, are any of you energy workers, you know, the meridians and chakras and all that? Yes. So you can think, well, hold on, this is really showing up on triple warmer. What am I stressed about? You know, because triple warmer is the stress, you know.
Right.
So they can, you know, it can be a real ping pong. So look to yourself first to make sure that you are as balanced as possible. And is he or she trying to give you a message that you need to look to yourself? And sometimes when you look to yourself and work on yourself, it disappears with them. You know, they really are our little helpers. So there's that aspect of it. And I think that, you know, they really take on our stuff. So look more to it's more the emotional things, look to the emotional side of it. And I would say balance yourself, make sure if your dog is ill, if you're doing a daily thing, that's fine. But if you're actually really trying to give your own dog a treatment, just do a daily energy routine. Those of you might be familiar with Donna's work, it's up on YouTube. She's got a great one out, just 10 minutes. You can cut it down to a couple of minutes. Just make sure you're grounded. I think I'm preaching to the choir here. Grounded and, you know, as balanced as possible before you go in. And also, these are your tools, your mind and intention, and these hands are your tools. So I always suggest to people that, first of all, they rub their hands together and shake them off so that your tools are really sort of clean and clear. You'll sense energy more. And you'll be able to give or be a conduit for energy more. And yeah, so there's that. That's the first thing I would do. I always start with, most dogs love a spinal flush because it's, and you'll see it, I'm up on YouTube doing it, you'll see it in the book. Okay, and everyone thinks, yeah, I know about the spinal flush, Maddie, I know about that. You know, that's fine, do something else. But a sort of elongated spinal flush gets everything. It can be your go-to when you don't know what to do. Go there and do it slowly and with intention, following your dog's reaction. Okay, so, you know, if somewhere on that spine there's a, oh, you know how they go. You just think, okay, I'll just stay here a bit more. If they get up and walk away, let them walk away, that's fine. If you can't touch for whatever reason, just do it in the field. You know, they're very sensitive in the field. So,
Oh, okay.
you know, you can start with that mummy lick. You all know the mummy lick, you know, the mummy lick, up over the ears, down behind the ears, and down and off the front paws, and talk to them. In the book, I call it tittle-tattling, you know, and it really is, oh, I love you so much. Oh my God, I love you so much. You know how we go. And
Yes.
it doesn't matter what words you use. It is that sort of, they need to feel safe, especially if they're not well, and especially if they're rescued. I have a friend of mine who rescues cats in Spain. And whenever she gets some wild cats you can't go near. I'm not going near that one. I'll work from afar on that one, you know. And she always says to them, welcome. There will always be food here. There will always be water here. There will always be safety here. There will always be shelter here. And there will always be love here for as long as you want it.
Oh,
And you know, that's all she ever does. And all those cats stay. I mean, they are crazy wild, some of them, and have really been abused. But, you know, they stay, and they're not cuddly cats, but they stay. They know, you know. So this tittle-tattling, it's not the words, it's the vibration of the emotion that you're trying to go through. So I would always start with a really slow mummy lick, and going backwards on the triple warmer, coming into the spinal flush, and then coming off the back legs, you know, and then off the tail, you know. So I pay attention to the paws, their little paws, because as with us, if they become ungrounded, which is very easy to do because we take them in our cars sometimes, and you know, they do become ungrounded. You can't get that yang and yin energy two-way street going. So therefore it inhibits the flow of energy in their bodies, and it can slowly put them out of energetic kilter, if you want. That's particularly important if a dog has had trauma of any kind or a shock, because that can reverberate up the spine or up the bladder meridian normally, and it's an irregular energy. Now, in a healthy dog, or in human, it will, boom, the shock comes in and then it goes out, but it's got to have somewhere to go out. And normally it will go out through the paws or through our feet. But if your polarity is not right, then it's going to be stuck, or let's talk about dogs, it will be stuck in their body. And what happens is that, I'm wondering if you all know this already. You're very welcome to, we know that, Maddie, say something else, you know. But I have found this useful in that if you can open the paws, and I will sometimes spin a cut glass, you know, those cut glass crystals, cut glass crystal all over the paw pads. If you don't have one of those, if you think the nail is north and the pad is south, so just go north, south, north, south, north, south, north, south, north, south, north, south over the pad. Okay, it just gets that polarity right. And the shock or the trauma vibration, that energy has somewhere to go. What happens when it's an irregular energy and it gets stuck in the body is that it begins to move around from the bladder meridian. You have these things called SHU points, SHU, which connect to each organ. Now, this could take months. It could take an awfully long time. It's not like suddenly. And so if the shock's not leaving out of the paws, not departing, doesn't have an exit, it comes up there, goes to the SHU points, and slowly it's taken around to the organs. And suddenly you get that irregular shock or trauma energy in an organ, and it will begin to pollute that organ, you know. And it depends how weak, if that particular organ is their weak spot. Okay, so you don't want it. You don't want it in our bodies either. And we all have like firework night with dogs. Definitely. Before the first firework goes off, you start doing their little feet. If they really are shocked by fireworks and that, when you're massaging, you know, when you're mummy licking, massage around the base of their ears and then come up to the tip of the ears and just massage gently there. There's a shock point there, which helps shock leave the body. So you know, it's all about, as with us, getting energy to really flow with ease and not getting stuck in the body. So my go-to is making sure they're grounded by massaging their feet, twirling a cut glass crystal, north, south, whatever you want, and a sort of really thoughtful spinal flush, not just, okay, we do this, then we get onto the good stuff, you know, but really, really thoughtful like that. Another go-to is because if it's your dog, it's very difficult to think or be objective if they're not well, because they're like our babies, and it's, you know, everything goes out the window. So it needs to be simple, then you'll remember it. Okay, so another thing I often encourage people to do, and do this on a daily basis, is rub your hands together, shake them off, as I said, but rather than just get going, for a few seconds, come back and just feel the energy. So let's all do that now. Okay, rub your hands together, really get a bit of heat going. All that nasty old energy, shake it off. Then come back and then just feel, where is the energy? It might be here, it might be here. No right or wrong, it's just where the energy is today. And you just close your eyes and you feel the energy and you just play with it. And you may only do that for about 30 seconds or a minute. But if you do that every day, it increases your ability to work with energy, to sense energy, to move energy, to give energy. And it also sets something inside you, if you want. Oh, she's going to work with energy now. And there's like an internal focus onto the energy work you're going to do. And it starts connecting you to what I call the wise one within. You know, deep down inside, or that wise one within knows what your dog needs. It may not have made it to the brain, okay, because as we evolve as humans, we seem to have lost that ability to really know the wisdom or an intuitive feel of what's right, you know, or what we need. So if you do that every day, it's a minute of your time, and think of it, I'm doing this for my baby, my dog, you know, then where are you going to put your hands? If you always have your dog between your hands, think of the energy that you are building up, and every day you do it, you have the capability of building more energy. And you could, for example, three nice holds are one on the heart. So if he's standing in front of you, one on the heart, okay, because their little heart chakras, unlike ours, they are much bigger and they go out to the shoulders. Okay, so it could be on the heart or on one of the shoulders. Normally, just as that chest bends, depending on the breed, is quite nice. And then the other one is just up, especially if they're sitting down, it's even better. Just that on a horse, you'd call it the withers, you know, just opposite basically. And you just think, so if you had, that's a nice hold, if you have a rescue dog that can allow you close enough to touch or to work in the field about 2 inches off. And you can imagine, first of all, just see what the energy is doing between your hands. And then you can direct it. You can do a figure of 8. So your hands stay there, but you're actually asking the energy to 8, you know, the Tibetan infinity healing sign. And then the tittle tattle comes in. So that's bringing another layer of energy. May your heart heal from your heartbreak, you know, if they've been traumatized, you know, or be strong and valiant and know you are loved. I love you. You know, the love is such a healing energy with all of us. That's a really nice hold. Another hold, which I use a lot, I was talking to someone today someone had kidney problems. Doing all of that, doing all that preparation, one hand on the belly and one hand over the kidneys at the base of the spine, okay? And again, you know, say it was kidney that you're doing there, you know, you first of all feel the energies, just let it do what it wants to do. You're not the master. Feel the energy, and then sometimes you imagine spirals. Sometimes it's figure of eight. See if there's a patterning, see if there's a movement that the energy wants to make, and move it. And at the same time say, you know, may your kidneys be strong, be resilient, be healthy. May every cell in this organ replenish with vitality and health, whatever words, you know, suit you, that you like to use. And then another one, a final one, and you can do this after spinal flush as well, is base of the tail, base of the neck. Now, you can do the base of the neck depending on the breed, but the other one sometimes on mine is, so this is his head up here. I have my hand like that on the base of his tail, and then I bring my fingers up and I do occipital bone. So these fingers are on his occipital bone, and the rest of the hand is sort of up over. I don't want to wake him up to show. He'll be very grumpy if I wake him up. But you get an idea, and you just hold that, and then you just think, okay, energy flow. Just imagine the energy free flowing through that. And of course, if it is free flowing up the spine, everything comes from the spine. So you're getting health to the organs and to the associated meridians. So those are very simple things you can do. And, you know, going on from that theme, you know, rub your hands together, shake them off. If there's pain anywhere, you can just connect to the pain. Say he had pain on his joint here, you connect to it. So what I mean by that is just use this little chakra here and think, where does the energy want to go? And sometimes it doesn't want to come out, you know. Sometimes it's very congested and heavy, because often pain is congested, stagnant energy. So you need to connect to it, and then you can pull it out. Pulling it out in a spiral motion, the rule of thumb is left hand draws out anti-clockwise, counterclockwise, okay? And then you might go right hand clockwise to stabilize and fill it. So that's a nice way of drawing out pain. You can also siphon out pain. Clean your hands, shake them off. Put your left hand over the site of the pain and connect to it, and put your right hand facing down to the earth. And you imagine, and don't worry about this because energy can flow through you, it won't hurt you. You can imagine that pain coming out through you, it's not stopping in you, down this hand and out into the earth. And you would literally just be standing there with the focus, all your attention on lovingly pulling that pain out, taking it through you and dispersing it into the earth. And then you can change hands, right hand. You can do one of two things and just sense. Neither is right or wrong, but one will be slightly better than the other. And doesn't matter, okay? But you could perhaps put the left hand up to the sky, and that is going to bring in the more outward yang energy. Or you put your left hand down, palm down to the earth, which is going to pull up that much more yin, nurturing energy. I tend to work with yin energy a lot, but it does depend on the animal. You know, if you've got a dog that is too yin, you pull down that yang energy, get a bit of yang. It's what the balance of that dog, and your dog may mean different things, different days. Okay, so that's a good one of dealing with pain. And I would go back to you. Is this helping?
Oh, yes.
Yes. Yes, you're not sitting there thinking, I know this. Hope she's going to.
No, I love
sure
it.
how much you know or not. But I think sometimes we stand in the way of our helping our animal companions. And what I mean by that is, of course, with our conscious minds, we want to help, we want to promote that self-healing. I don't believe we heal, I think we just give jumpstart their self-healing. Okay. But sometimes there's an area outside of our conscious control that we're not even aware of that is blocking it. Okay, so you can do all of these things and nothing much happens. Now, if you find that, okay, and it's actually quite a good thing to do anyway for a few days, all right, but if you find that, it could be you that's blocking, because all these things are so natural and organic, they will help your dog. And that is, I want you to think, can you all self-energy test or pendulum? All right. So another time we won't do it. We'll all pretend you're weak, okay? But you can test this statement. It is now safe for me to heal Jessica, or whatever your animal's name is, okay? It is now safe for me to heal Jessica. And you can think, well, of course it is, I want to do it, you know? But are you safe? You know, you can just energy test, get someone to energy test you, energy test yourself or whatever, or pendulum. And if that's weak, that can be weak, or so is it safe? You think, well, what do you mean by that? Because something in your subconscious can think it's not safe to interfere. I could do more harm than good. Maybe in a past life you've done something and a negative things come up. You think, oh, I'm not doing that again. You're not thinking this. This is totally beyond your conscious. You know, there's something that is not safe to take control. Give it to someone else. Give it to the vet. You know, whatever. And I do think, I'm not against vets. Obviously, it sounds like I'm against vets, but everything I teach supports veterinary care. The other thing is deserving. You know, I deserve. You know, I'm good enough to help my animal. You know, whatever you feel your weakness in, but the general thing is the safety thing. It is now safe for me to work with Jessica's energy and help her self-healing, help her self-heal. You know, and you would say that a few times. And at the same time, I would suggest you put your hand over your heart. So you're connecting to your heart energy, which we have a lot of where our own dogs are concerned. Right. And then with this finger, the heart protector finger, you're going to tap this triple warmer point just here. Doesn't matter exactly where it is, but that sort of area. So you're just tapping. Now, what's happening here is, first of all, you've got a vibration going into the heart chakra and up to the thymus area, which puts you into a temporary state of balance. When you're in that temporary state of balance, this little, you know, this little chattering voice up here, this, you know, little gremlin inside will listen. Okay, got his attention. And he's open to listening, okay? You're also working triple warmer and circulation sex, heart protector, whatever you want to call it. And they are married to each other in the fire element. You have triple warmer is the yang, the husband, and circ sex is the wife, if you want, the yin to his yang. And if you think of triple warmer really as your external border patrol. So he's walking around repelling anything that's going to sort of threaten your survival. No, it used to be saber-toothed tiger. Now it's a traffic jam, you know, or it's someone who's breathing on you without a face mask in a COVID area or something, you know. I mean, it varies. And it's often overreaction on our part. So he's become sometimes overreactive. You know, but he's very much about what's going on out there, because he's very young. He hasn't got time to look inside. He's looking out there, all this danger around you, or perceived danger. And that's why we also mustn't forget circ sex. That's why doing this is good. We're connecting with her as well, because she's your inner gatekeeper, if you want. You know, she's also called heart protector, and she's just that. You know, it's protecting the kingdom, excuse me, of your heart. And if she doesn't feel safe around you working with your dog, that gate closes. And if triple warmer and circ sex close, then, you know, it's really going to diminish your ability working with your dog. The other thing, if you get circ sex, pericardium, heart protector, in balance, she calms down triple warmer. Once he's calmed down, you're just all open. You know, and that intention, that loving, healing intention really does, you will feel the difference. I promise your dog will feel the difference for sure, you know. So what I say to people is do this and just have a little post-it note in your bathroom or by your kettle. And every time you're in the bathroom sitting down, or you're waiting for the kettle to boil, just go, it is now safe for me to work with Jessica. I'm going to work with her. It's going to be so good. It's now safe. I'm going to help her. She's going to heal. You know, whatever that self-talk is, but start off, it is now safe. And that puts, again, it puts you in a much better position when your energies are good, when there's not something subconsciously going on about, well, you can't do it, you don't deserve to do it, it's not safe to do it. When that's not going on, your energy has a confidence which your dog's energy will feel. So that energetic conversation between your dog will be very open, and your dog's energy will feel safe with you. I mean, you know, if you think of us as humans, if I go to someone and I go, oh, I'm not sure if I can, you know, it's a therapist, and they're saying, I'm not sure if I can do this, but I'll try. Or hope it doesn't go wrong, Maddie. Well, no, it will be okay. It will be okay. Oh, yes, love you, love you, love you. You know, you're going to think, oh, I don't feel very confident with that, you know, but energetically, that's what's happening. And if, you know, your energy is talking to your dog's energy along the lines of, this is going to be so good. This is going to turn your self-healing switch on, Jessica. You're going to feel this. This is going to be so good, Jessica. Then the dog goes, oh, I feel safe and I'm open to it. So, I mean, there is so many things you can do, and you can put this theory about reprogramming your mini me if you want. You can, you know, it's that little mini me always sitting on your shoulder saying, can't do that, you can't do that. Judge you, you get it wrong, it will be a failure. There's no such thing as failure when you're working from love. Absolutely no such thing, you know. It makes a huge difference, and also, as I say, it makes everything very, very simple. So that's another thing. What else is good? Is this helpful? Any questions so far? I've warbled on a bit, but any questions so far on what I've said?
There is a lot of information. When you do that spinal flush, and you said you can do it just a few inches off of the top, if they don't allow you to touch them, they will still get the energy that they need, like we do with Reiki?
Yes, they will. I mean, it's a different sort of experience, but I'm a huge fan of working in the field, especially with animals that are nervous, who are rescue, who have had abuse. And yes, you can. They will still get it. It's a much gentler, and that's the whole point of it. It's much gentler. And you'll find that you know, I have worked, for example, with horses where you can't get near a horse that's been abused.
Yes.
And so I don't try. I just say, in my mind, I tittle tattle and I say, okay, that's fine. I'm over here by the fence, and I will do it. I will do work from the side of the field.
Right.
You know, and slowly they know, and they'll come towards you, and they'll think, what are you doing? What's that? You know, and you find a little nuzzle, and then don't go straight in. You just stay back. Let them come to you, dog, cat, or horse. And then slowly you can get hands-on. I mean, with some animals, especially with rescues I've worked with, it can take months to get really comfortable. But it doesn't matter, because what you're doing from a distance, you know, you can be doing little spinal flushes from the other side of the room, or, you know, a few inches off. Once they associate it with you, they'll come to you.
Isn't that beautiful? Yeah. So beautiful.
And the other thing, does anyone work with crystals? Yes. A lovely thing, two things I work quite a lot with. 3, 4, 5, 6. You know, when you think, oh no, I work with that as well, and I work with that, and I work with that. But selenite is a really gentle, if you know selenite, never expose it to water because it disintegrates with water.
Yes, it does.
But it's very, very gentle. It's like a moonstone. It's like, you know, associated with the moon. It's not a moonstone. And you can just, if you have, sometimes I have 2. I have them in the form of hearts. Okay, so I just hold them, and I'll just, you know, do like little, you know, slinky things down their spine with that, you know, in the field. That's good. That's another technique, actually. Are you all familiar with the Hopi technique?
I've heard of it, but I've never seen it done.
Okay, you're going to love this one. This developed from the Hopi Indians in New Mexico, down near Taos, and it was by, but it's also they found it in Egyptian history all over the world. It's just called different things, and we call it the Hopi because the person that brought it to the West discovered it with the Hopi tribes in New Mexico, and this is really good. You can do the full method, you can do a shorty method, okay, but if you do the full method, this is great if your animals had surgery. Oh, Petra, who is this? Oh my gosh.
It's Arvo. He must love your energy because he came instantly as we started and just parked himself here. So yeah, look at him loving listening to this beautiful.
Good boy. Are you good? Oh my goodness, he's gorgeous. He looks very Maine Cooney.
He is. He's Maine Coon.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Oh, got my breed right. They're my favorites. I love them. I love them. Oh gosh, I want to pick him up and have him. Okay, so this is so many uses, but this is my go-to when they've had surgery. So if they've been neutered, accident, stitches, broken bones, anything like this. Also very good for wrinkles, girls, on us, okay? But what you do is, and I'll do it quickly, but you would take time to, oh, where did I do it? I think, where did I put it? I know it's on my website sometimes. I think if you sign up on my newsletter, you get 5 free gifts. And I think one of them is what I'm going to tell you now, the Sacred Triad. Okay, and you do the Sacred Triad, and then that enables you to do a very effective Hopi. So I'm going to tell you, but if you forget or you have the replay, you can always get it on that free gift, or it may be on a blog, I can't remember. Okay, so the whole point is you're going to create laser-like beams of energy that will heal. So this is my bit. I like to think I invented this bit, but probably not. It's probably been in many cultures for many centuries, for thousands of years, but I call it the Sacred Triad. And he works on the principle of bringing together the yin energy with the yang energy and the heart energy, the 3 most powerful healing energies in your body. And so you would take time. Yeah, I think it's a free gift. And you would just sit with your feet on the floor, and then you do a meditation of going down into your feet, feeling the roots coming out underneath your feet, down through the floor, down through the ground, deep into the earth, discharging any old stale stagnant energy. You would do that, and when that's discharged, then you feel your roots attached to the yin energy in the earth, and you slowly bring up that yin energy. I mean, this is probably going to take you 5 minutes or something, not quickly like this, 10 minutes even. You bring the energy up through your body, you feel it through your legs, through your Aphrodite's bowl, the womb, up, and it comes into the heart, and you feel it mingle with the heart. What I would suggest is the first time you do this, you really take a long time, okay, because it's going to be new to your body. But the more you do it, you can sort of get it like that after a while, but the first time you just need to do it really slowly. So you've got the yin energy up with the heart. Then you're going to imagine up through your head the yang energy above. And sometimes I'll put my arms up, sometimes I won't, depends how I feel. And I imagine that yang energy coming down through my 100 meeting point, a very powerful master point. It's a gateway on the top of your head, right on the top there. And it's coming down through my head, through my neck, and into the heart area where it mingles with that yin and that heart. So you've got this triad of really pure healing energy. So what are you going to do with it? You think, oh, it's all mine. I'm going to keep it for me. You know, no, we're going to share it. So then you feel it coming up to the shoulder and down the arm. And then depends what technique you're doing. If you're doing an ordinary technique, you can have it come out your hand because you're going to be hands-on. But for the Hopi, you want it coming out of your fingertips. So you imagine this mix of energy coming up and down each fingertip. So you've got like little lasers coming out. And then the same on the right-hand side. So you have got, you're sort of charged up with this energy coming out your hands. And then, so say my dog had an injury here and had been stitched up. I don't do anything. I would just put, well, I've actually put both hands on, okay? Both hands on. If you can, keep your fingers straight, because if you bend them, it inhibits a bit. But imagine all that energy, and it's coming in, it's coming up, it's whirling around, it's coming out your arms non-stop. It's infinite. Okay, you can also do it with both hands or one hand, figure of eight, tiny little figure of eights over in the field above a wound. Okay, but actually sometimes it's good just keeping it. Do you know, I once came across this woman who had learnt this technique, and she did it on her face, and she made an entire video on how to get rid of wrinkles. You know, so I sat there for ages, you know, trying to get rid of wrinkles, but in theory it really helps the collagen in the skin. But we use it for scars. I've used it, I've got 12 stitches down there, and no one ever sees it. And that was figure of eights with the Hopi. And I also used vitamin E with lavender oil mixing, you know, once the scab was off and no risk of infection. So the Hopi you could use in many situations. And again, you know, the worst thing it can possibly do is nothing. And it can really protect anything your vet has done, you know, over you know, chest infections or anything. I'm just thinking of something else that might be useful. Do you all know how to surrogate test an animal? Mm-hmm. Yes, okay. So what I find on skin conditions especially is test before they ingest, which can get very expensive, okay, as you make many mistakes, is one of the best ways of clearing up skin conditions. And again, you can test supplements, you know, will some olive oil or something in their diet help their skin? I had a Cavalier King Charles many years ago who, oh, gosh, you know, he would nearly eat himself with itching. It was just awful, you know, and it was in the early days, and I just thought, I just don't know what to do. I was figure of eighting, you know, doing everything. And then I thought, like, I was going to check out the diet. Well, I had to dance with his diet, okay, and he would have different things every day. I spent a fortune on all these different foods. I had a whole shelf in the larder, and I'd test every day. It was like slightly different every day, and you know, it took time and a lot of concentration, but I got his skin right purely by responding to his diet. I say purely, partly by the diet, and then thinking, well, an ordinary dog would not be that sensitive to food. So what's going on? So, you know, strengthening their spleen, strengthening their liver. Liver and spleen are your dog's, you know, large intestine as well, because large intestine and lung govern skin. So there are 4 things with skin. You know, there is the diet, then it's checking out lung, large intestine, spleen, and liver. And you can either energy test, as you would normally, to see if something's weak, or if you can't energy test or don't particularly trust it or want it, you just work on those 4 meridians, you know, and or dowels to see which needs working. And when I say work, you can trace the meridian. You can you've all got the book, and don't know if it's on the website, but in the book, I'm sure I've put in, if I haven't, I will send to Cynthia so she can give you the source point on each meridian. Okay, so each meridian has one point, which is the source of energy. It's like a little reservoir of energy that if you touch it, if you work it, if you massage it, will shoot energy around the meridian. It is the source of energy. But the beautiful thing about source points is they are the safest energy points to use on your dog, because they are self-regulating, so you can't get it wrong. You can't put in too much energy, or you can't take out too much energy. They'll self-regulate. They'll, if you stimulate them, that's your role. So I think it's in the book. If not, I think it's on the website. I'll check afterwards, and as I say, if it's not, I'll send the diagram of them. And it's a good thing for you. They're nearly always round the feet. They are always round the feet. But very good for you. You know, if you want something like in this time of COVID, lung, you know, and you think, I know the emotions to do with lung, I know all of that, but actually I want a shot of energy, pure and simple, to my lungs. So that's where you'd go to the source point. It's no nonsense. It's like a hyperlink. So on us, it's just here, you know, where the wrist bends, you know, this is lung meridian, it's just there. So you can just massage that a few times. Okay. Oh, I know what I was going to say, because that reminds me, because sometimes what I'll do is I'll put a little bit of frankincense resin on my source points. I tape them on with micro tape. If you haven't got frankincense resin, you can just get some good quality frankincense essential oil, put it on a bit of cotton wool and just micro tape that on at night. It will come off properly during the night, doesn't matter. But the vibration of frankincense is incredibly healing on all levels. It's one of the most sacred oils. You know, yeah, it hits you physically, mentally, but it's also very spiritual and emotional. And always check out, because, and I don't use essential oils with cats, by the way, Petra, you know, because they lack something in their bodies they don't process it, oils with ease, you know. So you're careful with cats, but
I know I actually had a bad experience with using some citrus oils around, and he had a reaction to it. So lesson learned.
Yes, but what you can use with them, you see, that's why I've written 2 books, because the dog book is very hands-on, and the cat book, my publisher said, well, we'll just call it for cats, you know, it can be more or less. I said, no, it can't be the same. It's different. Cats are totally different to dogs, as any cat and dog owner knows, you know. They do love flower essences. Okay, and because that's so highly vibrational, you can put the flower essence in your hand, shake it off so there's no smell of that alcohol, and then you can work with cats, well, any animal in the field. And there's so many flower essences around at the moment, but I think in the book I've put some of my favorite ones. If I had to choose 2 to have all the time in my house, I would have Ian White's Black-Eyed Susan. Ian White founded the Australian bushflower remedies. And why I like him so much is many years ago, he'd only just started up in Australia, and I'd started up in England. I was doing workshops in London for animal care. And it was the days before computers. The days, yes, Bach is good. Bach is good as well. And healing herbs there's so many good ones. Okay, so you'll gravitate towards one. But the reason I liked Ian's work was this is in the days before the internet, okay, even before mobile phones, I think. And I wrote to him, actually hand wrote, you really just get the thing. I'm doing this workshop, and I am totally breaching copyright because I'm mentioning, you know, your flower essences, and I'm just copying your descriptions of them. Are you okay with that? You know, And I wrote to him, I wrote to Bach, I wrote to Healing Herbs, I wrote to another one, I can't remember who the other one was now. None of them got back to me, right? Except Ian White's partner rang me from Australia and said, Ian's so excited what you're doing. Who cares about copyright? You can use anything of ours if it helps you, you know, help people help their animals. You know, and it was just so, I just thought, wow, what a generosity of spirit. And he was the head. And I thought that whoever heads it, that's why I love Eden Energy Medicine, because Donna Eden heads it, and she is so, she's never a guru. She is such humility, and she's such a special person, you know, and he is. And so it sort of comes down through there. So I love his Black Eyed Susan, because to me, it's the thing for stress. And if you take that 99.999% of anything that goes wrong with us or animals is stress, caused by stress or exacerbated by stress, or healing is diminished by, slowed down by stress. Remove some of that stress. So Black Eyed Susan, or the equivalent, is nice. And also his emergency essence. It's the same thing as rescue remedy, you know. And there are lots of other things. So I would just explore essences if you don't want to use oils. But animals will tell you immediately if they want an oil or not. And quite a good way of doing it is you can put the oil, you leave the tops on if you have a little selection, and just put them out. And then I'll tittle tattle to my dog and I'll say, now which one do you need today? You can choose, all right? And do you know, I swear to God, he does, he like sniffs them all, and then he'll come back to one and look at me. Now, that may be my imagination, okay? It may be my imagination that he's choosing it, but I believe in magic, you know? And so we have a little bit of that. Normally, I work with things on my hands and then off the body and just vibrationally with it. Any questions on those things at the moment? Oh my God, sorry. Gone on for a whole hour.
You are absolutely fine. Now, with doing the essential oils and stuff on the animals, we cannot put the essential oils on their paws, or we can?
You can, yes,
Okay.
you can. Before I add anything to an animal, I'll energy test.
Okay.
You know, just to make sure, because the same on humans. You know, you could have something, I could say to you, oh, lavender oil, frankincense oil is so wonderful. You say that, and the one person you use it on has an intolerance to it or doesn't like it or
Yes.
something. You know, so anything, whether it's a crystal or essence or oil, I just test whether you douse it or just energy test, surrogate or yourself. Just test to make sure. Yes, you can put them on pads, and like, for example, I might put rescue remedy or emergency essence on the tips of the ears. Remember I said the shot point was there,
right.
tips of the ears, or on the back paws, on the big pad of the back paws is another shot point. So you could put it on there. They have a third shot point, but I never put oil there, and that is, and they don't like it very much. Okay, it's just where the Cupid's bow is a shot point.
Oh, okay. Okay.
That's more one. I'll often use that one on horses love. They all love the
Horses,
ear one.
yes.
They
Because
all love
also
the ear.
all of their nerve endings are coming out in their ears, right? On animals.
Yes, you've got
Unlike
that,
us.
and also you've got key acupressure points around their
Okay.
ears. So your dog will tell you where he wants you to go. You know. Yes, Adriana, you have a question for me.
Hi,
Sorry.
thank you first
That's okay.
for this, Ms. King. I want to ask you, by any chance, do you have any idea about using an oil for separation anxiety? Because after being at home almost for a year, I mean, technically for a year, now my cat, every time I cross that door, he just jump on his stroller, because assuming that I'm gonna take him with him. And it's such a crying that even my mom wants to throw him out of the window, because cries all the time until I arrive. I mean, but he's crying like a baby, so I cannot go out without him now.
Okay, so what I would suggest on that is rock rose is very nice. Okay, rock rose. Any of the roses are very nice. But more than that, I would actually, before you go out, you can do one of two things. You can either trace a heart around him like this, okay, and say, I love you and I'm coming back. I love you and I'm coming back. Or perhaps I'm drawn more for you to do a figure of 8 between your heart and his, okay, and smile, get the energy of smiling and saying, I'm going out now, but I'm coming back. I promise you, I'm coming back, you know. And you just, you know, they get the meaning on some level, and then you're doing with this heart thing, you know, all the time. And what I might do, as I say, I'm not an animal behaviorist, but I'm tempted to say to you, I would do it and go out the door and come back in 5 minutes.
Just to see.
You know? And see, I'm back, my darling. I'm back. Oh, good boy, good girl. You know, and you just, you know, doing the heartache, you know, and then later on you go out for another 5. You know, you just sort of go out for a little bit and come back, so that they realize you are going to return. You know?
Okay.
So that
because I always speak to him and tell him. So whoever doesn't know me will think that I'm in substance abuse because I talk to him and I tell him, you know, I'm gonna go out. Like, I don't have a husband, you know, but it's like my husband. I'm gonna come back. Don't worry. I mean, and he's like, goodness.
Well, continue to talk to him like that, Adriana, but at the same time, make that extra connection or the energetic connection to support the words between your heart and his heart.
Okay. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it.
That is beautiful. Beautiful. Thank you so much.
Any other confusion? I know I warble on a bit and I go off in all directions.
Oh,
so
we
I hope
loved
I
it.
confused.
Loved it. Does anybody else have any other questions? Please ask now.
Don't start her off again, Cynthia, or she won't stop. But you know, it is so, I still am so excited after decades of working with energy and animals, because it's so simple. You know, I am not special. Every one of us can do it, you know, and kids, if you've got a grandchild or a child, they are fantastic at this when you show them some of those techniques, you know. Oh, Benito. Oh my God, it's a Berman. Is it a Berman or a ragdoll, Adriana?
A huge ragdoll.
Oh my goodness.
I had a Berman. That's why I just lost my Berman, and it's so similar. So
has a huge blue eyes.
Adriana, he's much better than a husband.
Oh, tell me, I'm looking for a third one, but it's going to be Happy Love. You and your home, me and my home, and everybody on the wallet. Oh, yeah.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate this because, I mean, really suffers when I leave.
Beautiful.
Take a little bit of time, but you know, just do that. That will help. And Jessica's there. Oh, look at her.
Thank you so much, Madison. Thank you so much for
my pleasure. It really
we have a
is.
love affair here. Jessica wants to say, "I love you, Shubi. I love you, Shubi. I love you, Shubi."
Oh my God, Paula! Oh,
yes, he loves. I bought your book like 2 years ago, and it's incredible, Madison, because always when I work on him and I give him a massage, he allows me. Now he's making. That's the way he talks to me. He loves the massage. He loves energy.
That is good. That is good.
They are energetic beings, and they're much more in touch with it than we are.
They are. They are.
Yeah, I know.
They're amazing.
Oh, fantastic.
Mine's downstairs in a kennel because he's not allowed to come up because he'd be barking at y'all if he sees another dog.
Mine are just absolutely out for it. I had a very long walk today. So
well, that's good. Well, thank you so much.
It's been such an honor. It's been such an honor,
you.
Cynthia. And you've got a lovely group. You really
thank
do.
you. Thank you. We always close everything by just bowing our heads and giving a little prayer, if we could, please. If anybody has any more questions, please ask now.
Oh,
if not, we will bow our heads, please. Heavenly Father, we thank you so much for Madison coming here to enlighten us about our pets, what beautiful ways you have guided each of us. And with her beautiful ways that she tells it, it is so enhancing to us. We thank you for each person here on the call today. We thank you for Hen, and we thank you for your love and your blessings. May you be blessed always. Amen.
Amen.